Ever get that nervous flutter in your stomach?
Wow.
You know, right before you got to speak up in a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you've like totally frozen up giving a presentation. Happens to all of us.
For sure.
But what if I told you those nerves could actually be like a secret weapon?
Ah, interesting.
That's actually one of the kind of counterintuitive insights we're diving into today.
Oh, okay, cool.
All thanks to Chris Anderson's book, TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking.
Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah, it's great.
What kind of stuff does it cover?
Well, it's not just about like delivering a TED Talk on a global stage.
Right.
It's got all this wisdom that can help like anyone
Okay.
share their ideas better.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, you know, a team meeting or just like a casual conversation even.
So it's for like everyday situations too.
Totally.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you know what really struck me was that Anderson starts with this super empowering premise.
Okay.
He says anyone with a valuable idea can be a great speaker.
You don't have to be like born with it.
Exactly.
That's cool.
It's not about like some magical inborn talent.
Right.
It's about sharing something meaningful.
I like that.
Me too.
So like how do we find those valuable ideas?
Well, that's what's key for you, the listener, to like really grasp here.
Okay.
You have valuable experiences and insights. Everyone does.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about what makes you unique. What stories can only you tell?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's where a great talk begins.
I like that.
Okay, so let's unpack this idea of a valuable idea a bit more.
Okay, yeah.
Chris Anderson, you know.
Head of TED.
Yeah, the head of TED.
Right.
Who's seen literally thousands of talks.
Wow.
He argues that most people actually underestimate the value of their own experiences.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, we tend to get caught up thinking our lives are too ordinary.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
my life is boring.
Exactly.
Right.
But if you zoom out, if you connect your experiences to the bigger picture, every life is a tapestry of like unique moments and perspectives.
That's true.
Yeah. So they are valuable.
Those moments, those perspectives, those are the ideas worth sharing.
So it's not about being like a world-renowned expert
No.
or having had some crazy adventure.
No.
It's just everyday life.
It's about connecting with your audience on a human level.
Right.
Sharing something authentic that resonates with them.
I like that.
So where it gets really interesting
Yeah?
is when Anderson lays out 4 common talk styles to avoid.
Oh, so things not to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all ears.
These are like traps that even experienced speakers can fall into. And I bet you've seen some of these.
Oh, I'm sure I have.
All right. Hit us with these styles.
Okay.
What are we trying to avoid here?
Okay, so first up is the sales pitch. Picture that consultant who's like so laser focused on self-promotion
Yeah.
that they forget to actually like share valuable information.
Right.
They're all about taking. Yeah, the hire me, buy my product speech.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
So off-putting.
oh boy.
Then there's rambling.
Oh no.
The talk with like no clear structure.
Yeah.
No through line to like hold it all together.
I've definitely been there
Yeah.
and done that.
It's painful.
It is for everyone.
The speaker kind of meanders around, the audience gets lost, and everyone's time is wasted.
Yeah, no one wins.
Next, we've got the org bore,
Uh-oh.
where the speaker is like so obsessed with their organization or company
Right.
that they forget the audience doesn't necessarily share that same level of enthusiasm.
Like being trapped in someone's internal company newsletter.
Exactly. The worst.
And finally, there's the inspiration performance,
Okay.
where the speaker prioritizes like emotional manipulation
Oh.
over substance.
Yeah.
Think of the speaker who's all flash and no fire,
Right.
trying to force those inspirational moments.
Like they're trying to manufacture a viral moment.
Exactly.
So contrived.
And while those tactics might get a temporary applause,
Yeah.
they ultimately leave the audience feeling empty.
Right.
Genuine connection comes from authenticity, not performance.
100% agree.
So how do we avoid these pitfalls?
Yeah, what's the secret sauce?
To a truly engaging talk,
Yeah.
Anderson introduces this powerful concept of the through line,
Okay.
which is like the connecting thread that runs through every element of your talk.
I like that.
This is key.
Yeah.
It's not just about having a topic.
Okay.
It's about having a purpose, a message you want to leave your audience with.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm curious, how is a 3-line different from just the topic of the talk?
Good question.
So let me give you an example from the book.
Okay.
Imagine your topic is a kayaking adventure in Kazakhstan.
Sounds exciting.
Yes, that's exciting.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's just the topic.
Okay.
The through line could be about perseverance in the face of challenges,
Huh.
or the power of teamwork, or the awe-inspiring beauty of nature.
Okay.
It's the deeper layer of meaning you're weaving into the story. So the three line is like the why behind the what.
Yeah,
It gives your story purpose
exactly.
and helps the audience walk away with something to remember.
Yes, and having a strong through line helps you avoid those rambling, unfocused talks
Right.
we were talking about.
It keeps you the speaker and the audience on track.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
So once you've got this through line figured out,
Yeah.
how do you actually bring it to life in the talk itself?
Yeah. What tools does Anderson recommend?
He lays out 5 core tools,
Oh, wow.
which I think are worth exploring in detail.
5 tools. Okay.
These aren't just techniques.
Okay.
There are ways to think about structuring your ideas
Right.
and connecting with your audience on a deeper level.
5 tools. I feel like we could do a whole deep dive just on that.
We probably could.
But for now,
Yeah.
let's focus on connection,
Oh.
since that seems so fundamental to a good talk.
Yeah, it's the foundation of any successful talk. Connection is all about building that genuine human bond with your audience.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
How do we as speakers actually create that connection with our audience?
Yeah.
It can be surprisingly simple.
Oh.
Anderson highlights the power of eye contact.
Yeah.
Something as basic as looking at someone directly in the eyes
Yeah.
can trigger a sense of trust and empathy.
Yeah.
And there's actual science behind this.
It's not just feel-good advice.
Right.
There's a neurological reason it works.
Our brains are wired to read social cues, and eye contact is one of the most powerful signals we have.
Yeah, it shows we're present, we're engaged, we're listening to the people we're speaking to.
Exactly.
And a simple smile goes a long way, too.
Oh, absolutely. A smile can instantly disarm an audience,
Yeah.
making them feel more receptive to your message.
It's like an invitation to connect on a human level.
Right.
I also remember Anderson sharing some interesting anecdotes
Okay.
about speakers who acknowledged their nervousness right up front.
No.
It seemed counterintuitive, but it actually made them more relatable, more human.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, admitting that you're nervous can actually help.
That vulnerability, that willingness to be authentic
Yeah.
can actually create a deeper connection with the audience.
Oh,
It shows that you're not some polished performer,
right.
but a real person with real emotions just like them.
That's a good point.
And I think that's what makes a talk truly memorable.
Yeah.
When you feel like the speaker is being genuine, you're more likely to connect with their message on a deeper level
Right.
because they're letting you in.
It's about sharing a part of yourself,
Right.
not just delivering information,
Yeah.
which actually brings us to another powerful tool, narration.
Okay.
Stories have this incredible ability to capture our attention and make information more relatable and memorable.
Yeah, this is making me think about how I structure my own presentation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm usually so focused on data and facts that I forget about the power of a good story to really bring those ideas to life.
It's a common trap.
Totally.
We get so caught up in trying to sound smart or professional that we forget that people are far more likely to remember a story than a statistic.
So true.
So how do we weave stories into our talks effectively?
Yeah.
Is it about finding those personal anecdotes
Right.
that connect back to the through line we talked about earlier?
Exactly. The key is to choose stories that illustrate your points
Okay.
in a way that resonates with the audience. And don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable to share your own experiences.
Right.
Those are the stories that tend to stick with people.
I think a lot of us worry about appearing too personal or
Yeah.
revealing too much, but it's that vulnerability that makes us human, right?
Exactly.
And it's what helps us connect with others on a deeper level.
You hit the nail on the head.
Now, we've talked about connection and narration, but there are still 3 more tools to explore:
Okay.
explanation, persuasion, and revelation.
I'm eager to dive into those with you.
Me too.
But perhaps this is a good place to pause for now.
You're right. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground already. And I want to give you, our listener,
Right.
some time to digest all these great ideas.
Good idea.
We'll be back soon to explore the remaining tools
Okay, sounds good.
and uncover even more insights from Chris Anderson's TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking.
Can't wait.
Me neither.
All right, talk to you soon.
See ya. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into the art of public speaking
Yeah.
with Chris Anderson's TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking, as our guide.
Such a good book.
It is.
A lot of good stuff in there.
Last time we were getting into the nitty-gritty of Anderson's 5 core tools.
Right.
for crafting a truly captivating talk. And I'm ready to tackle the next one.
Okay, let's do it.
Where do we go from here?
Well, we've already explored the power of connection, right?
Building that genuine bond with the audience.
Yes. And narration. Using stories to make your ideas stick.
Exactly.
Love it.
So let's move on to explanation.
Yeah, okay.
Because this is where a lot of speakers, especially those dealing with complex topics, can really trip up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've all sat through those presentations where the speaker just throws jargon around
Oh, yeah.
and like technical terms, and we're left feeling completely lost.
Totally.
How do we make sure our explanations actually land
Right.
and make sense to the audience?
It's all about striking that balance between simplicity and depth.
Okay.
You want to like break down complex ideas
Yeah.
into digestible chunks
Right.
using clear language and visuals,
Mm-hmm.
but without, dumbing it down or talking down to your audience.
Right. I remember Anderson talking about using metaphors and analogies.
Oh, yeah.
Those can be super helpful
Yeah.
for bridging the gap between the familiar and the unfamiliar, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A well-chosen metaphor can illuminate a complex concept in a way that just clicks
Right?
with the audience's existing knowledge.
It's like creating a mental shortcut
Yeah.
to understanding. It's like when we were talking about the through line earlier, and you compared it to a rope.
Yeah.
That ties all the elements of your talk together.
Mm-hmm.
That image really helped me grasp the concept.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of a good metaphor. It paints a visual representation of an abstract idea,
Right.
making it much easier for the audience to grasp.
So clear language, visuals, metaphors.
Yep.
What else can we do to make our explanations really hit home?
Anderson also emphasizes the importance of pacing.
Right.
You don't want to bombard your audience with too much information too quickly.
Yeah.
Give them time to process
Yeah.
and absorb what you're saying.
It's like when you're reading a really dense book.
Yeah,
You need to like pause and reflect every now and then
Right.
to let it all sink in.
exactly.
Otherwise, it just becomes a blur.
The same principle applies to public speaking.
So true.
Build in those mental breaks.
Yeah.
Those moments for your audience to catch their breath and make connections.
So we've covered connection,
Yep.
narration,
Well,
and explanation.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to persuasion.
Okay.
This feels like a tricky one.
It can be.
How do we influence our audience without coming across as pushy or manipulative?
You're right. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
But persuasion in this context
Right.
isn't about coercion or tricks.
Right.
It's about presenting your ideas
Okay.
in a clear, compelling, and convincing way, using evidence and logic to back up your claims.
So it's about appealing to the audience's reason
Yeah.
and intellect,
Right.
not just trying to manipulate their emotions.
Precisely. It's about building a solid case for your ideas,
Okay.
using data, real-world examples,
Right.
and even anecdotes to support your points.
And I imagine storytelling plays a role in persuasion too.
Oh, absolutely.
A good story can be incredibly persuasive, especially if it connects with the audience's values and beliefs.
Stories have this amazing power to engage our emotions and make us more receptive to new ideas.
Yeah.
They provide a context for understanding and help us connect with the speaker on a more personal level.
It's like that chef who opened his talk
Yeah.
with a dramatic statistic about food-related deaths.
Oh, right.
That instantly grabbed our attention
Yeah.
and made us want to hear more about what he had to say.
Exactly. That's the power of a well-placed story.
Mm-hmm.
It can create an emotional hook that draws the audience in
Right.
and makes them more receptive to your message.
Okay, so we've covered connection, narration,
Mhm.
explanation, and persuasion.
Right.
Now we're on to revelation.
Okay.
And I have to say, I'm most curious about this one.
Yeah, this one's interesting.
What exactly does Anderson mean by revelation in the context of public speaking?
Revelation is all about sharing new insights and perspectives
Okay.
that can actually change the way the listener sees the world.
Wow.
It's about sparking those aha moments,
I love those.
right? Those moments of sudden clarity and understanding.
So it's not just about conveying information.
No.
It's about shifting perspectives, challenging assumptions,
Mm-hmm.
expanding the audience's way of thinking.
Precisely think of it as offering a new lens through which to view the world,
Wow.
a new way of understanding themselves and their place in it.
That sounds incredibly powerful,
It is.
but also one of the most challenging tools to master.
Yeah, it can be.
How do we make sure our talks have that revelatory quality?
It starts with having a deep understanding of your subject matter.
Okay.
You need to be able to see beyond the surface to
Mhm.
connect the dots
Yeah.
in a way that reveals something new and meaningful.
So it's about going beyond the obvious,
Yeah.
digging deeper, making connections that might not be immediately apparent.
Exactly. It's about taking something familiar
Right.
and making it strange again,
Interesting.
forcing the audience to re-examine their assumptions and see the world in a new light.
You know what?
What?
Anderson also talks about the importance of vulnerability
Oh, yeah?
and creating those aha moments.
He does.
So that's interesting in what way?
He argues that sharing our own struggles and insights,
Okay.
letting the audience see our humanity,
Right.
can actually make the message more relatable
Mm.
and impactful.
Makes sense.
It's about being real.
That vulnerability creates a sense of shared humanity,
Yeah.
a connection that allows the audience to feel seen and understood.
Right.
And when we feel seen and understood,
Yeah.
we're much more open to new ideas and perspectives.
Exactly.
It's like those speakers who shared their personal stories of overcoming adversity or
Right.
facing their fears. Those moments of vulnerability often had the most profound impact on
Yeah.
the audience.
Because those stories tap into something universal,
Right.
something that resonates with our own human experiences.
Yeah, we all face challenges. We all have doubts and fears. And seeing someone else be open about those experiences
Yeah.
can be incredibly powerful.
Okay, so to recap, we've got 5 core tools for crafting a truly compelling talk.
Okay, hit me with them.
Connection,
Yeah.
1, 2, explanation, 3, 4, and revelation.
5.
And as you've explained so well,
Oh, shucks.
these aren't just techniques.
All right.
They're ways of thinking about how we structure our ideas and connect with our audiences on a deeper level.
You got it. And when these tools are used effectively,
Yeah.
they can transform your talk from a mere presentation
Right.
into a truly transformative experience
Yeah.
for the audience.
Now, we've talked a lot about crafting a compelling talk, but what about the actual delivery?
Right.
Let's be real. Most of us get nervous before speaking in public.
Yeah.
What advice does Anderson offer for managing those nerves
Right.
and delivering a confident, impactful talk?
That's what I struggle with the most.
He's got some great practical tips for that, too.
Okay, good.
Of course, he stresses the importance of preparation.
Right.
Knowing your material inside and out can do wonders for your confidence.
Because when you're like fumbling through your notes or forgetting what you're going to say next,
Yeah,
it just amplifies that feeling of anxiety.
exactly. But he also talks about some simple physical techniques
Okay.
for calming those pre-speech jitters.
Like what?
Things like deep breathing,
Oh.
staying hydrated, and even having a small snack
Oh, interesting.
before you speak
Yeah.
can actually help regulate your nervous system.
I've also heard about the power of focusing on friendly faces in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
It's like anchoring yourself to those positive vibes.
That can be incredibly effective.
Right.
It helps shift your focus away from those critical voices in your head and reminds you that you're speaking to real people who are interested in what you have to say.
So you're having a conversation with them,
Yes.
not battling your inner critic.
Ye-
What about that moment right before you step onto the stage or up to the podium?
Oh, yeah.
Any advice for handling those last-minute butterflies?
You know, it might sound counterintuitive,
Okay.
but Anderson suggests acknowledging your nervousness directly.
Right.
Instead of trying to fight it,
Yeah.
embrace it.
Interesting.
Tell yourself, okay, I'm feeling nervous.
Right.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It means I care about this.
That's an interesting approach.
Yeah.
It's like turning that nervous energy into positive fuel.
Exactly. And remember, most people in the audience have been in your shoes.
That's true.
They know what it's like to feel nervous
Yeah.
before speaking in public, so don't be afraid to be human.
Right.
Let them see your authenticity, and they'll
Yeah.
connect with you even more.
That's a great reminder.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect,
Oh, yeah.
to appear confident and in control,
Right.
that we forget that it's okay to be a little nervous.
Absolutely. In fact, sometimes that vulnerability can be your greatest strength.
Interesting.
It makes you more relatable.
Yeah.
More human.
Anderson also has some really good advice about strong openings and endings, right?
He does.
He emphasizes how crucial those first and last moments are for capturing the audience's attention
Yes.
and leaving them with a lasting impression.
It's true.
Those are the parts I stress about the most.
The opening is your chance to grab the audience's attention from the get-go
Right.
and set the tone for your entire talk.
Mm-hmm.
He suggests using a hook
Okay.
Something unexpected or intriguing
Right.
that makes them want to hear more.
Like that chef who started his talk with that shocking statistic about food-related deaths.
Yes, exactly.
That definitely got our attention.
It made you lean in
Yeah.
and want to know what he was going to say next.
And as for the ending,
Yeah.
that's your opportunity to summarize your key points,
Right.
tie everything back to your through line, and leave the audience with something to ponder.
I remember he advises ending with a call to action,
Yes.
especially if you're sharing a powerful idea
Right.
that you want the audience to act on.
A call to action can be incredibly effective.
It is.
It gives the audience a sense of purpose, direction, and a way to engage with your message
Right.
on a deeper level.
It takes your talk from passive listening to active participation.
So to recap, we've covered the 5 core tools for crafting a compelling talk.
Yes.
And we've explored some practical techniques for managing those inevitable nerves and delivering a confident performance.
What else does Anderson emphasize in his book that we haven't touched on yet?
Good question.
One of the most important things he talks about is the importance of authenticity,
Sure.
of being true to yourself and your message.
Right.
He believes the best talks come from a place of genuine passion and a desire to share something truly meaningful with the world.
I love that it's not about trying to be someone you're not
Right.
or putting on a show. It's about embracing your own unique voice and perspective.
Exactly. When you speak from that place of authenticity, your passion will shine through.
Right.
And your audience will feel it.
Totally.
That's what creates a real connection.
It's about giving, not taking right.
Yes.
Sharing something valuable with the audience rather than trying to impress them or promote yourself.
You nailed it. That generosity of spirit is what makes a talk truly memorable and impactful.
It's about making a difference, not just making a splash.
I love that.
You know, this has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I've learned so much
Me too.
about the art of public speaking already.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's even more to uncover in Anderson's book.
Oh, definitely.
It feels like just the tip of the iceberg.
He goes into much more detail about each of the 5 core tools.
Oh, wow.
Offering specific examples and exercises
Yeah.
to help you hone your skills.
It's a treasure trove of information
It is.
for anyone who wants to become a more effective communicator.
Well, I guess that just means we'll have to do another deep dive into this topic sometime soon.
I'm down.
I'm always up for exploring the world of ideas.
Me too.
Especially when it comes to something as universally important as public speaking.
Well, let's take a break
Okay.
and give our listeners a chance to absorb all this fantastic information.
Sounds good.
We'll be back soon for the final part of our deep dive
Okay.
into Chris Anderson's TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking. Welcome back to our deep dive into all things public speaking.
It's been quite a journey,
It has.
exploring all these facets.
We've been unpacking Chris Anderson's TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking. And I have to say, this book is like a gold mine
Oh, yeah.
of practical advice.
So much good stuff in there.
It really is. We've covered so much ground already.
We have.
The importance of a valuable idea,
Right.
those common talk styles to avoid, harnessing the power of a strong through line. And we even explored those 5 core tools.
Those were great.
Connection, narration, explanation, persuasion, and revelation.
I love those.
Me too.
So useful.
And we've also tackled some practical tips
Yeah.
for managing those pre-speech jitters
Right. Everyone gets them.
and delivering a talk with confidence.
That's always the goal.
But you know, as we wrap up our deep dive,
Yeah.
there's one more aspect of public speaking that I'm kind of curious to explore.
Okay. What's that?
It's something that hasn't come up explicitly yet,
Mm.
but it feels really important.
Okay.
The ethical side of things.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah,
It is a crucial dimension.
it is.
Anderson actually dedicates a whole section of his book to the ethics of public speaking.
He does. I don't remember
Hey,
that.
you should check it out.
Okay.
He stresses the importance of authenticity and integrity,
Right.
reminding us that public speaking is a powerful platform.
It is.
And with that power comes a responsibility to use it wisely.
So it's not just about being persuasive
No,
or entertaining.
it's about more than that.
It's about using that platform for good, for sharing ideas that are truthful,
Yeah,
well-intentioned,
right.
and ultimately beneficial.
Exactly. He encourages speakers to ask themselves, what is the gift I want to give to the world with this talk?
That's a great question.
It is.
It's about having a positive intention, a desire to make a difference,
Right.
not just to grab attention or promote yourself.
I love that.
That really resonates with me. It's easy to get caught up in the mechanics of public speaking,
Oh, yeah.
the techniques and strategies, but ultimately it should be about something bigger
Yeah.
than ourselves.
Right.
It's about contributing to the world in a positive way.
It's about using our voices to inspire, to educate, to spark change, to build connections.
To leave the world a little bit better
Exactly.
than we found it.
I love that.
This whole conversation has been so eye-opening.
It has been, hasn't it?
I feel like I have a whole new understanding
With you.
of what it means to be a good speaker.
It's more than just giving a good presentation.
It really is.
It's about making a difference.
And I hope our listeners feel the same way.
I hope so too. And to wrap things up, I want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
Something inspired by Anderson's book that I hope will stay with you.
Okay.
If a good talk is about giving, what valuable idea do you want to give to the world?
Ooh, that's a powerful question.
It is, right?
It really makes you think.
I hope everyone listening will take some time to reflect on that.
Me too. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the art of public speaking.
Yeah, this was a good one.
It was. And until next time,
Yes.
keep those ideas flowing.
And those voices strong.
We'll see you soon.